I go to a lot of conferences, have for the past 25 or 30 years. You get wonderful ideas, but when I come home Monday morning, I walk into the store ready, charged up. Boy, I learned a lot this weekend. Let's do it. And you don't know how. And there's no one there to show you how. You've got a manual that if you have the time, you might sit down and read it. With PDS, it's quite different. Before I joined PDS, I saw Dan at a conference in Las Vegas, and one of the perks, he gave everyone that was interested, I think, a free 6-month trial to the message board. I had no idea what it was all about. Well, I would get on, and it blew me away at what was going on this message board, that people would post a topic. Some of them I might be interested in, some of them might pertain to me, but I kept following. I didn't post anything at that time. I kept following the links to post, and I picked up on wonderful ideas that people had experienced in their business that maybe if it's something I wanted to try, it gave me some shortcuts to keep me from making the mistakes I possibly would have made by doing it on my own. I'm a little older than most of the members, and I would give anything if 20 years ago I had this same opportunity. But I grew up in the era where the pharmacist or the store owner, I felt like I had to do everything. And I felt like I was the only one capable of doing anything. But for the past 2 years, 2.5 years, I've been a member of PDS. The tools I've learned, delegation being the main thing, simply putting things in writing. It's absolutely amazing that for 25 years I would tell my employees what I expected of them, but until I put it in writing, it didn't happen. Once I put it in writing, this delegation tool really works. What it did for me personally is gave me time to quite frankly, be with my family, do some things I wanted to do, not the things I felt like I had to do on a daily basis. Very interesting, I have 2 sons, 2 older sons, neither one of them chose to go to pharmacy school. About a year ago, after I joined PDS, he came home for a weekend or something. We went shopping, and he was just about ready to graduate from college, and I asked him what he was going to do the rest of his life, and he mentioned he was going to go to pharmacy school. Boy, I could have, he could have knocked me over with a feather, and I asked him, what's wrong with you, I think is what I said. No, I said, what's going on with you? And he looked at me and he said, no, what's going on with you? I went, what do you mean? He said, for the past year, you're a different person. You actually have time to talk to me when I call you at the store. You actually come down and we go to dinner. I didn't do that before. And I owe it all to PDS and what they've taught me, how to run my business instead of it running me. 3 years ago, it didn't seem like my work was ever done. Now, instead of trying to play catch up at home, worrying about what I was going to have to do the first thing to catch up from the day before, I'm thinking about, okay, what am I going to do to make it better from now on? I'm happy. I don't have a negative attitude anymore. And I had that. I was one of those. I had that attitude. But the change it's brought in me and in trying to find an answer, not just beat it to death, but be proactive. You're talking to the king of, let's jump in here and do this, and I jumped right in and had no plan. That's the bottom line. Boy, I like that. Let's just jump in here and do this. We jump in and I go, well, what do we do now? With PDS, it's given me not only the tools to do it right, but it's made me think up here before I jump in. Is this something I want to do? I know how to get it done because somebody's laid the groundwork for me. It's taught me to think properly and plan things out much better. You definitely get a return. I'll give you a perfect example. Voice broadcasting. We do diabetic shoes. I work with my staff and my coaches on voice broadcasting. Month of November, we did a voice broadcast to some 800 diabetic patients, talking about the Medicare policy on diabetic shoes. You get a pair every year, and it's November, and that you're getting ready to run out of time, and in January you can get another pair. And I gave them the particulars of what to do. That Monday morning, I ran it on a Saturday morning because I knew most of these people would be home. Monday morning, I had 20 people standing at the door waiting to get in. We sold 49 pairs of diabetic shoes. I don't know how many months of PDS that paid for. I know I've got a friend of mine that's a member of PDS, and he's not a very big participant. And I asked him why he wasn't. He said, this is so expensive. I don't know whether I want to do this. I said, were you doing any of the programs they're doing? Well, no, I'm not. I said, well, what do you expect? Get up and do them, and it pays off. So yes, it pays off. It just, 49 pairs of shoes in 1 week. Unbelievable opportunity and unbelievable follow-up. I wish it was here 20 years ago. That's all I can say.